going to be talking about today. Brilliant Bites. Brilliant Bites with Maegan Brown, also known as the BakerMama. And we're just going to be talking all about all of her recipes. Look how beautiful these are, especially ahead of the holiday season. I'm really excited. And I'm also excited to learn from her. So I got a lot of great questions. This to me looks amazing right now. Oopsie, something just fell out. This looks amazing. Yes, everybody needs this cookbook. So we are going to talk about her new cookbook. It's called Brilliant Bites, 75 Amazing Small Bites for Any Occasion. Also, her Instagram is so beautiful. She makes such amazing and beautiful recipes, and with the holidays coming up, I feel like this is something that all of us are going to really benefit from, because there's just so many easy, I mean, this looks very intricate, but there's so many easy and just great, straightforward appetizer and boards, really fun, also holiday ones. And a lot of these, honestly, to me, like this looks like a great breakfast. So I just can't wait to learn from Maegan here. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you for coming, and happy Pub Week. Your book came out this week, right?
It sure did.
So
it came out on Tuesday.
Exciting.
I know. It's so exciting. It's been a labor of love, but as you know,
yes.
Once it comes out, it's very, very exciting and relieving.
I know. It's so exciting when it finally comes out, and then there's so much craziness, and then you're just like, and then it all stops all of a sudden. You're like, oh my God, what was that? So I always my mom always says to me to be as present as possible and enjoy the process. And I hope you are, because this book is, I've heard that books like yours that are so picture focused take so much time and energy to get all of these pictures to be so beautiful and flawless that I hope you're just relishing how beautiful your book turned out. And it's such a great, also like a hostess gift ahead of the holidays. I think we're all, gearing up for the holidays. We're in September, we're approaching, a crazy food filled time, and also one where we're looking for gifts for people and also hostess gifts. And this is such a great one. So well done on that. And I can't wait to just dive into this. And really how you even came up with this concept and your Instagram concept, because obviously you have such a big following. But let's just go back to the beginning of when this all started for you.
Yeah, it actually started 11 years ago on the day that Brilliant Bites came out. So on Tuesday.
Wow.
And it's just been a whirlwind. And I was chatting with someone this morning about they're like, what's next? And I'm like, I didn't even know what was next the first day I published that first.
Don't you also just not like that question? Everybody always is like, I remember doing this with books. It's like you come out with your book and people are like, so what's next? And you're like, I've spent so long doing this book. I want to actually enjoy it and sit in this moment of just getting the book out there, because you've been working on it so long. So I don't like that question, but anyway.
I completely agree. And you have to kind of live in the moment with this and just absorb it. And then you take the opportunities as they come. And that's just kind of how I've treated it over the years. And it's just, that's how I enjoy it the most. I love sharing. I love being able to do this and just take it one opportunity at a time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's also such a great concept, because I think, for someone like me who isn't great in the kitchen and also finds, cookbooks to be beautiful, but also a little bit daunting or intimidating, your book is, of course, beautiful. And it also, the way that you present so many of these recipes is in a really approachable way and non-intimidating way, and also incorporates family. That's such a big part of this book. And also everything that you do is, bringing your kids into it, involving your whole family, doing things as a family. So can you talk a little bit about why that was important to you to put in this book and also have as a theme in all that you do?
Yeah, I mean, it's truly what it is. The only reason I share is because I'm sharing what we're enjoying. as a family and with our loved ones. And that's how it all got started. And that's how I really stayed true to that. So what you see is what we're enjoying and how we're enjoying it. And I just want it to be, again, so approachable, like the perfect word for it. I don't want anybody to feel like they can't be successful with any of my recipes or creative ideas that I share. Same with the cookbooks. Like you'll find that there's some semi-homemade stuff. There's very simple 5-ingredient recipes. There's ingredients that take you less than 30 minutes and recipes that you can, or recipes that take you less than 30 minutes and recipes that you can prep in advance. I really just try to make it so that anybody can be successful, because I think I hear so much like, I can't do that. I can't do that.
Right.
And I'm like, just try it. Just do it. I promise you. And almost every single time the reaction is, that was fun. I did it. Everyone loved it. And that's what it's all about.
I love this, you know, the fact that first of all, you're kind of categorizing in this book, you do like breakfast bites, and then you have, you know, ones for like the holidays, Thanksgiving ones, which these are so cute. And also a really fun thing. My sister and I always are trying to find things that we can be doing together. Mm-hmm. And also now that my girls, you know, are getting more interested in helping out in the kitchen, my oldest daughter's 3 years old. So these are also great ways to start them in the kitchen. But one of the questions people asked was when to start involving your kids in the kitchen, how to go about doing that. So it's not, you know, you watch these videos with people trying to involve their kids and it's just like a total disaster. So like what age is a good age and how should you start incorporating your kids in that process?
Well, for me, our kids have been in the high chairs in the kitchen with me since the day they were born, pretty much. Like they are in their little carriers. And so it just evolved from there. I give them a little spatula to play with when they were old enough to hold that. And I would give them a dedicated cupboard of Tupperwares and pots and pans to play with when they were old enough to sit and do that. And then it just progressed from there. And we have had a rule from day one that our kitchen is never off limits. And I work from my kitchen. That's where I, do everything. It's where we photograph, we video, we do it all. But they come home from school and they want to come in and try what I'm making, or they want to give me a hug, they can do that. And so I want that. That's one thing I just really encourage people, is just to make the kitchen just a very welcoming place. And then they will learn the ropes and they will respect it. And you won't have those like disastrous messes, but also let them. So I'd say like 3 is like a perfect age for them to get one of those stand stools in the kitchen and start just playing around. Just give them something little. You don't have to let them like take over the entire recipe. They just want to help. Yeah. And so even if it's just giving them a little bit of dough from your cookie dough to form into a shape, let them do that. And then just let it kind of progress from there. Our kids are at all different levels of desire as well as ability to be in the kitchen. Our oldest kind of is in that phase of like, I don't care, just make me whatever, I'll eat it. And then our twins are like, I want to make eggs, I want to make edible cookie dough, and they're pulling up all these recipes on YouTube and going crazy in the kitchen. And then my daughter is she's just like me, so she wants to get creative and is very like clean and organized and wants to set it all up. And so it's just, you gotta kind of have to take your time and like let them be there when it's a good time to be there. So
I also learned, I've talked a lot about picky eating, which I'm a very picky eater myself. So of course my oldest daughter is naturally also a very picky eater. And I learned a while ago of this kind of idea of being able to just like make a sampler board of just like a ton of different things. Yep. This book has the ability to do that in a way that also, like benefits your entire family. So if it's, making little breakfast burritos, sampler bites, or any of these, beautiful holiday hors d'oeuvres, or these, which my husband opened this book because I had it sitting on my desk and he was like, this looks like you in a full food. And so I feel like this, I'm sure some of your response, or maybe not, but has it been also just this idea that you can be making something that is, 1 or 2 of your recipes that everybody can kind of take a little something from and get their little fix while also introducing new foods?
Yes, everybody loves bite-sized food. And so that's what it's all about, is that they can just have a bite. You're not committing to a full plate. You're not committing to, just this entire casserole of something that everybody has to eat.
Right.
And so yeah, the recipes are really meant to be mixed and matched. They're customizable. You'll find many recipes in there, like the deep dish pizza bites, the mini muffins many ways, the lasagna cups. You can switch up the toppings and the mix-ins and make it your own. And so that's really what I want people to do, is be inspired, use the recipe as a base, and then make it their own, and certainly mix and match it. Boards are a big part of our lifestyle as far as feeding our family and our loved ones. So that's where my passion first started with cookbooks. My first cookbook is all about charcuterie boards, snack boards, and we still live for the boards. And so it's definitely the same approach of put it out there, let everyone pick and choose and make it their own. And that's definitely with kids. I found that if I plate our kids' meal and hand it to them, there's all kinds of, I didn't want that,
Yeah.
complaining, I didn't know, you gave it to me, don't make me eat it, all this stuff. But if I put a board out there with the same food and they put it on their plates and they fill their plates, they own it and they're proud of it and they eat it. It is just, it's mind blowing. Most of the time, my husband and I are like kicking each other under the table. Like, he says he doesn't even like yogurt. And sometimes I'll just put a big bowl of yogurt and some fruits and granolas around it for breakfast. And our oldest will be over there just like 3 bowls in of a parfait. And if you were to give him a thing of yogurt in the container and a side of granola, he'd be like, I do not like yogurt and granola.
Yeah, I know. No, it's so true. It's like all in the presentation of how you give your kids this, and then also giving them like the independence to be putting that all on their plate themselves, or, doing it in their own way, which I've learned is a big part of having a toddler, is just like giving them the authority to just do things on their own. I feel like one of the big things that, all of this, obviously you're an expert in this space. You make beautiful meals, amazing food, great things for family. I feel like the biggest thing is, for moms, you're a very busy mom. There are moms who look at all of this and they're like, this is all amazing, but like, how do I plan this? How do I do my meal planning for the week? Or if I want to do one of these things spontaneously, like, how do I do that? Do you have any tips for meal planning? Because I know for some people that's a big part of their week and how they actually give their kids great meals.
Yeah. I mean, I think don't put so much pressure on yourself. So for me, I used to try to, like, every night of the week there was a meal plan, and then something would fall through, a kid would get sick, an activity would come up, and then I would just feel so bad that was not the meal we had that night, and maybe we had to drive through somewhere. And so I think just like taking the pressure off, having your set of like foods, like your grocery set. I have a grocery list of what we are stocked with at all times. So if I need to make spaghetti, I can make spaghetti. I can make tacos. I can make a salad board. I have all of that ingredients on hand in my weekly grocery shopping. And then I get creative from there. So there's a few meals a week that I will be like, okay, I'm going to make something extra special or just different to let the kids try it. And I'll build that into the menu for the week, and then leave those other nights to where either we're having leftovers or it's something so basic that we can pull it together in no time and we have the ingredients on hand. So for me, it was just taking the pressure off of, like, you don't have to have a new meal, a new everything every night. Have your favorite recipes on hand and the ingredients to make them, and make them so you're set up for success.
You were talking kind of about, like, if it's spaghetti or if it's tacos, like those being kind of simple, straightforward meals that you always could have the ingredients to in your house. Are there certain things that, maybe there are certain recipes in this book or just different meals in general that are kind of your go-to meals as a mom? You're on a book tour right now. You're busy. You have like things going on. You're not, just sitting at home ready to, have your kids come home and tell you what they want for dinner. Are there kind of like go-to meals that you have with your family or as a busy mom that maybe other people could also benefit from?
Yes. I mean, there's a lot of recipes in this book for sure that come together so quickly and easily. It's almost like mind blowing when I'm even remaking them for our family. I'm like, oh, that came together so fast.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to go that quickly. So the deep dish pizza bites are one of our go-tos for an easy weeknight dinner, or even a lunch if we're on the go on the weekends. They just require tortillas, pizza sauce, cheese, and your favorite toppings, and they come together in a matter of minutes, and they're such a fave. The mini manicotti bites are one of our favorites too. They're little pasta filled with ricotta filling, and they're just so poppable. You can serve those bite size at a party, or you can serve them in a big bowl to the family. So those are always a fun one. The taco bites are so fun. Our kids are obsessed with those Scoops chips. And so those are an easy dinner to pull together. And yeah, for us, like just keeping it again, like simple. That's where we do a lot of meal boards. So we have a taco board almost every week. We have a salad board almost every week. And those are just ones that I know everyone will enjoy. We do a lot of like build your own meals.
Right.
And one of our favorites is like building your own like Chipotle bowl. And so I'll just make rice and chicken and all the guac we could want. And everybody builds their own bowl. And that's one of our favorite meals, because then my husband and I can build like a big salad, and they can have their kind of like compartmental little plate. So I try to make it to where, because my husband and I both really love food and we're more adventuresome, and we're trying to also introduce that to our kids. So we try to keep it simple, but also weave in some variety and something new as often as we can to introduce them to different foods.
I also just came across this one, which is like so perfect for the holidays of Halloween coming up, because I feel like there are so many, like you get overloaded with candy, and like that being like the thing that everybody wants, that these are such great ways to also incorporate Halloween, but also these little mac and cheese bites and mummy meatballs. So there's something in here for every single time of year, which I absolutely love, because I think, you know, like my sister and I are constantly trying to find different fun and easy recipes that are kind of festive for whatever time of year we're in. So this book definitely takes care of that, and I cannot wait to try out so many of these recipes and also find ways to incorporate the kids in that kind of baking or building process. I know that you're on a book tour. You're kind of going around doing different events, and also I know you were on TV this morning. How are you balancing it all? Because that's, I mean, putting together this whole book is a huge amount of work, and then actually getting it out there, sharing this with so many people, doing these events. This is, as you said, a labor of love, and it's something that you much time and energy in, and then, you know, you're able to get it out there. What is that process like for you, and how are you balancing it all?
Well, it's just, it takes a village, I think is what they say. I have just a wonderful like support system of family and friends. My husband is very hands-on, and of course he travels a lot for work, but this week, of course, he made sure he was home to help. Thankfully the kids are all in school, so that's very, very helpful. Back when they were not in school, when I released my first cookbook, my daughter was like along for the ride with me on a lot of it, or like right beside me. And it is what it is. Yeah. That's just part of being a mother, and also having a business. So yeah, right now it's just a balancing act, and I just kind of approach each opportunity based on how it affects, you know, our family. On release day, I built all of the, you know, release celebration into the early part of the day, because as soon as school got out, we had appointments, we had a football game, we had you know, like tutoring and all this stuff that we still had to get done, that they you know, need to continue on with. So just really just try to put the family first and make sure that they are taken care of, but they also are so proud of me and so involved with this, because they've lived it. All of this they've seen. They helped me test every recipe. They were my best taste testers. So they understand, and you know, sure, there's times right now where I'm not as like there as much as I want to be, but it's just a season, an exciting season.
It is, and you are, I mean, you're doing such a great job. I remember when I had my second daughter last year, I remember being sent your recipe of the no bake lactation cookies, and my sister actually made them for me while I was in the hospital having my daughter. And I came home and she had made them, and they were, they were all put together for me. That's been a huge recipe for you. I know you have to go and you're very, very busy, but just before we wrap up, I feel like that's been like the busiest, probably the most highly trafficked recipe for you, right? I mean, touching moms, obviously you have so many moms that follow you, but that was such a big one for you. Were you surprised by that? Or is that like a big part of like postpartum
Yeah,
recipe
no,
for you?
I definitely was surprised, and because at that time when I wrote that blog post, I had gone through now, I had twins in between the two, so it was my third round of breastfeeding, and the first time it was so like just like secretive, like I don't know, I just didn't talk to anybody about it, and so by the third time around, I was like, people need to know that they are not alone in this journey, and that it's not easy. It's hard.
Yeah.
And these lactation bites certainly helped me through with the twins and my daughter. And so I wanted to share that, but also my story of like, it was a struggle, and I found the success in it. Not that I was the most like picture perfect breastfeeder you would ever find, and that people think that they're going to be when they first have a baby. And so it was nice to be able to share that. I had no idea what an impact it would have on so many new moms and just fellow moms out there, and hearing their just feedback and stories and encouraging them through that one blog post is just so important to me and special to me. And even though I'm not in that stage of life anymore, we still make those bites actually quite often because they're so good. But yeah, it's just nice to be able to have that out there to encourage and inspire and just really comfort some breastfeeding moms out there.
Yeah, I mean, it is, they're so good. And then also like they're such a great thing to make if your friend has a baby that you want to like drop something off. It's even if they're not breastfeeding, like it just has such good ingredients in it. And I remember when my sister made them, I came down the next morning and my husband was eating them. He's like, wait, can I eat these? I know they're lactation cookies. I was like, you're fine. It's going to be okay.
Oh, I know. My husband would joke around like, oh, like,
I know.
Like, come on.
I know.
But I had to hide them.
I know.
My family loved him so much. Or loves them so much that when I was actually breastfeeding, we had a like designated container of just mine.
I know.
And then we had some if we had extras, because
everyone loves them.
Everyone loves them. And it is, I take people a meal. I have a series of meals on the blog where about take them a meal. And of course, for new moms and families with new babies, that's in my like go-to. I include those no matter what, because they're just so energizing and nutritious and filling, and just, we need snacks when we're in that
100%
phase of motherhood.
I mean, we need snacks always. I'm like a total snacker. So I'm like always wanting all of these things, but thank you so much. We'll reshare, of course, the lactation cookie recipe again. And congratulations on this book. It's so beautiful. We'll link out to all the great things that you're doing. I know you're doing a lot, and to get this book out there. And it's such a great time of year for this book to come out, because it just has everything as we go into the holidays in this book. And you did a great job. This is awesome. I'm so excited for you, and congratulations.
Catherine, thank you so much. It was so fun chatting with you. I appreciate all of your sweet words and support. That means so much to me.
Of course. Congratulations. Have a great week.
You too. Bye.
Bye.